News360 Headlines is brought to you by Deluxy Acrylic Paint, Heaven Insecticide Spray and Coil,
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste,
and Apa Foods.
My Life Insurance.
Tonight, Convention People's Party says it is taking legal steps to get the Founders' Day holiday expunged, accusing the Nkrumah-led NPP government of distorting Ghana's history.
We'll also be looking at the state of some of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's legacies as the country marks his 112th birthday.
Also in the bulletin this evening, 3 separate demonstrations in Tamale, Takoradi and Abetifi rock the country.
Coming up in business news, National Inland Canoe Fishermen Council wants the distribution of pre-mixed fuel depoliticized.
And on the international front, Sudan says forces of darkness linked to the ousted President Omar al-Bashir were behind Tuesday's failed coup attempt. We're live on TV3 Ghana on Facebook, DSTV channel 279, all across the world on 3news.com. Please go onto the Google Play Store, the App Store, and download the 3 News app. Let's get connected on a day like this, as the Convention People's Party, CPP, is saying it is taking legal steps to rectify what it describes as the distortion in the country's history and get the Founders' Day holiday expunged. At a symposium in Nkrumah, the leadership of the party accused the Nkrumah-led NPP government of a deliberate attempt to tarnish the image and ideologies of the CPP founder, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
Marking the 112th birthday of the CPP founder and Ghana's first president, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, at a symposium, the party expressed disappointment over the total neglect of Nkrumah's ideology. The party condemned what they describe as a deliberate effort by current administration to distort Ghana's history.
The Founders' Day was reinstituted by His Excellency John Evans Atta Mills, only for it to be expunged by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo, current president of Ghana. It is not surprising at all, because we all know his antecedents. But we of the CPP want to assure adjusters that we will resist any attempt to anyone who wants to rewrite history in this nation. In our bid to seek legal redress, to correct the distortion and anomaly, we will also make sure that nuisance holidays like the one on the 4th of August and others are expunged from our calendar of holidays in the country.
On the 2024 general elections, chairperson of the CPP, Nana Akosua-Sarpong Nkrumah, said the party is working hard towards victory.
For we CPP, we are not perturbed by the current state. It means we must work harder, and that's exactly what we are doing. When we get the power, nobody, and it won't be a promise that we will not fulfill, no youth will not have a job.
And to mark the birthday of Ghana's first president, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Ibrahim Abubakar looks at the state of the pencil factory he did establish in Kumasi.
Behind me is the pencil factory, one of the several factories established by Ghana's first president, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. The existence of this factory meant the country produces and uses locally made pencils without having to rely on imported ones. Thousands of jobs were also created, but the narrative has changed. The factory is now defunct, and we have to import pencils in the country.
Nkrumah made factories in Kumasi. He had a jute factory, he had shoe factory, he had a pencil factory. Pencil factory is just around Ababu. Jute factory was at Insane, shoe factory also around Insane, and then tobacco factory was at Ejura. And these are factories that produce what Ghanaians need. And this, apart from the fact that it's helping Ghanaians, it also creates jobs for us. And Nkrumah did all these things to ensure that it helps us grow our economy. Because if you are to import all these things, it means it's going to affect our economy. And look at all these things that I mentioned. Now they are all imported. Because if you have the pencil factory at that time, with all that structure it has, if it still exists up to date, one would have think that it would have enhanced, maybe had another branch somewhere which would engage more Ghanaians. We would have been fighting for jobs today. If all these factories, even in Ashanti alone, are working, what Nkrumah intended to do with all these factories was to make sure Ghana be of its own, so that we can manage our economy the way we want it. I feel disappointed anytime I see any of the factories. And one will ask why. It is all because of the way Nkrumah was exited. After the overthrow, people intend to make Nkrumah look devil. So even the factories were not allowed to function, so that people will remember Nkrumah. Let's allow it to spoil, let's get it destroyed, so that people will forget about Nkrumah. Because the more you enter into all these factories, the more you remember Nkrumah. We thought we were doing Nkrumah, now we are doing ourselves. There's no way you can start with over 100 factories and end up you don't have even 20. Today we are proud of one district, one factory, which is a PPP thing. Compare it to a total ownership of a company. Which one is an improvement? The one we own or the one we are sharing?
Thousands of youth would have been actively working if this defunct pencil factory and other ones are operational. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Kumasi.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is just one of the many factories that Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah established, which has been left to rot, and we're going to be bringing a lot more in our subsequent bulletins. But apart from the factories, Martin Esiedudate also throws the spotlight on the Tema Motorway, one of Kwame Nkrumah's foremost projects. Take a look.
57 years since its construction, no major work has been undertaken on the stretch. It was constructed by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's administration in 1964 and opened to motorists a year after. It is the foremost link between the harbour city of Tema and Accra. The Tema harbour is the largest entry port in Ghana, handling over 70% of total maritime cargo that comes and goes out of the country. Records available indicate that the expressway has expired and should have been replaced after 50 years. Patches of bitumen surfacing has worsened its already bad condition.
The Tema motorway was originally made from concrete slabs, as you can see, laid side by side. And because of how hard it is, the gaps that have been created are sharper at the edge and could puncture any tire that runs on it, considering the speed at which some of these vehicles ply the route.
Another visible danger is the absence of side rails. Earlier ones that were fixed have been stolen by miscreants, leaving the holding pillars. Since the early 2000s, several governments have tried fixing street lights for better illumination, especially at night, but thieves kept stealing the cables by destroying the poles. There is not a single week without a report of an accident. Meanwhile, government has engaged the services of a foreign construction company, Motor Angel, to redevelop the motorway at the cost of $570 million. Martin Esiedudate, TV3 News, Accra.
And the Tema Motorway is not the only project in a bad state. Let's go to the eastern region, where my colleague Adjoa Konedu Yadam was also at Kede to speak to the 73-year-old chief of Nkrumah, Osaberi Masapon Nkrumah II, who for 10 years worked at the match factory set up by the late President Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
The chief of Nkrumah in the Kwaibibre municipality, Osaberi Masapon Nkrumah, started his working life with the then vibrant Kade Matches factory. He tells me the factory was his only hope and that of other young people in Kade and its neighboring communities.
Ye papa no man say ye ohwefo a obetua ye so no onye wie school apa na Kade Matches factory na so koye adwuma.
It used to help us a lot, especially those of us who could not further our education. First, I was employed as a factory hand. We were those that worked directly on the matches.
He was there until the new owners decided to move the factory to Accra.
67. Enna Afrifa ene Kotokanum etu Kwame Nkrumah buying egu yes 1967. Enti omo ebe take over no omo ton the factory ema French for abrofo.
After Kwame Nkrumah's overthrow, the factory was sold to some Frenchmen. That was the end of the factory.
Enti yeni buy ho so no omo say omo the factory no concrete. Ne ashase ne na wie ya no.
For 10 years, the factory took care of him and his family until it collapsed. To him, moving the factory to Accra was the end of Kade. He calls on President Akufo-Addo to pay attention to the welfare of rural dwellers.
Mr. Akufo-Addo Assembly, Ghana mine na de to me na chane nsa no say, yenkrasi for. Enhwe ni hwe enkrasi.
I am pleading with President Akufo-Addo to pay attention to the villages.
Na me hwe ebi
he channeled his energy into palm oil production, a business he operates till date. He has employed many within his township. Ajua Kunedi Yadom, TV3 News, Nkrumah.
In a related development, head of NDC International Relations Directorate, Alex Sigbethia, has condemned the abandoned project syndrome, a subsequent government which he says accrues needless debts for the country.
We have a penchant as a people. Anytime there's a new government, every other thing any other government did was not important or should not be continued. So it's not just about Nkrumah projects. It's about everybody else who has been in government since. We have a hospital in Kumasi, Nokomfonoche, a whole block, which was a maternity children's block, which was started in Achampong's time. We are still looking for money to finish it. Politically, for some reason, we believe that if you finish somebody's project, it gives that person credit, as opposed to you finishing it off for the people of Ghana. We have schools, we have hospitals, we have buildings of different nature. We have even roads which were supposed to be constructed, which were stopped because a new government comes into place. So it is a big, big problem. As a people, we should move away from the idea of lack of continuity across board, on all fronts. If an idea is good or something, we've already gone to borrow money. Look, we are paying interest on hospitals that we haven't finished building. We are paying the interest. So we really have to have a situation where you will finish off what is there, especially if we've taken money or borrowed money to do the project. And then you can do whatever inquiry you like, but finish the project, because at the end of the day, it's for the people of Ghana.
And indeed, Big Brother is watching.
Yes, Big Brother is watching, and we now focus on our agenda for the week. And they may look a bit unusual on their horses, but don't be mistaken. They are part of the crime prevention and visibility strategy of the Ghana Police Service. My colleague Noble Crosby Annan reports the mounted squadron unit of the Ghana Police Service, made up of horses and police riders, have become integral in providing crime-related intelligence for case prosecution.
The Ghana Police Service in July 2019 procured 21 horses for the mounted squadron unit of the Ghana Police Service to be used during ceremonial programs and crowd control. Now, as part of efforts to fight crime and increase police visibility, the Acting Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Akufu Dampare, launched the horse patrol unit. Today, we're here with the troopers to find out how they operate and as well as the acceptance of the general public of these horses.
The patrol, which is part of the Ghana Police Service method of crime prevention and detection, will provide security in a friendly and interactive manner, with officers on horseback to augment other patrol duties, such as community foot patrol, motorbike patrol, visibility patrol, amongst others. DSP Mary Claire Agamba is in charge of the mounted squadron.
Police are friendly people. We don't harm. So we started going to the communities, telling them the reason why we are in public, to show visibility and also to assist in case of any security issues. We advise them if they have any security issues, they should give to the patrolmen on the horses. They are equipped with everything that can assist them. We had a lot of information. People have given us information around, concerning criminals at particular locations. Sustainability will also depend on the logistics given to us. As we are appealing to government to procure more horses or to get us more horse riders, if we don't get these horses and we continue using these few horses, they'll become exhausted. So we need more horses so that we can have reserve horses for other duties.
Sergeant Yahaya Lassa is a trooper.
We are using these horses in the communities to actually post our visibility so that if a criminal is living within an area and sees us on the horses, at least your mind, intention, will tell that there are policemen around.
Both the young and the old say the introduction of the horse patrol unit is timely and hope it will be sustained.
I'm baffled because I've not seen such a thing before. And doing this thing, I think it will help the children, mostly the children, because at times when they are crossing, cars used to knock them down most of the time. If this thing will continue, we'll be glad. But you see in our country, 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, it's off.
It makes me feel happy because they help us to cross the road. If they were not there, we'll stand there for about some minutes and some hours.
If you are crossing the road, the cars, they don't even know that somebody is crossing the road. So why the horse is here, I think that is good.
The horse patrol is good for the area because when they are sitting on the car and there's something happen, they can't see, they will not see it earlier. But unlike they are using the hawks and going around, you see the hawk, it's not hurry up. Something like here, hawk can pass here, but on like a car cannot pass here.
Unfortunately, I cannot ride a horse yet. But this man and other men and women in uniform do that to protect you and I in a friendly yet interactive manner. A major concern, however, remains the sustainability of this project. So appetites are not wet for only a while as this becomes a 9-day wonder. For TV3 News, Noble Crosby Aden.
I mean, this is some good stuff. It's worth shining the light on what's happening, at least with Crosby on the horse there. But
well, it's time to go to the Western region.
Absolutely. While we still talk about the demand to fix the country, scores of residents in the Western region who join in the Fix the Country demonstration wants the judicious utilization of the country's mineral resources. The protesters spoke to our Western regional correspondent, Erica J.
For the protesters, it was a simple matter, ensuring that the future of the country is put on a sound footing. According to them, all they can attest is a litany of broken promises by the Akufo-Addo-led NPP government. The demonstrators went through the Takoradi Market Circle to the Park Grant roundabout, where there was a standoff between them and the police over the route. Daniel Eshen from Takwa was sad that after several decades of gold exploitation, there is not much to show for it. For Theophilus Adams, a structural mechanic piping engineer, he wants a local content policy on oil and gas to be revisited.
My concern is I look at the industry because we are talking of job creation in Ghana. And if you look at industrial construction industry, there's a lot of job there. But because the policies and the constitution and the law in the country, I don't know what is the problem. I don't know if it's the leadership, or I don't know if somebody is not working on the constitution. And then the local content policy bill. That is why, especially Western region here, where we find the oil, we have a lot of you that have no job to do.
The demonstration ended at the Independence Square in Sekunde.
Well, from the Western region, let's go to the Eastern region, where another protest also took place.
That's
and
right.
A group calling itself the Concerned Citizens of Abetifi in the Kwewu East District has given government an 18-month ultimatum to complete the district hospital project. And the group in a protest expressed dismay the current government is embarking on new hospital projects while no effort is being made to get the stalled facility completed.
The concerned citizens chose to mark Nkrumah's Memorial Day with a protest to draw government's attention to the abandoned Abetifi Hospital project. The protesters gave government an 18-month ultimatum to complete the project to enable them access improved health care.
We are giving the government the next 18 months to complete. If the government fails to complete the project for us, our next action is we are not going to vote in 2024, because this demonstration is just the beginning, and we will continue because we vote for development. We don't vote for this disaster. And imagine the amount of money that have gone into this project. It's not easy. $175 US, and it's going waste. We can't sit down.
Our concern is that we have to use the country's money in a very profitable way. We have to be cost conscious. Cost conscious means that we don't just waste the country's money. It's a referral hospital. My old woman or my old lady and your old lady in your house, what does it profit or benefit this old lady when this hospital is not completed?
The 200-bed facility is currently under the mercy of the weather. Weeds are taking over the site while materials are going bad. An opinion leader, Nana Kwesi Dako, said an assurance given by the regional minister, Seth Champo, 6 months ago to get the project back on track is yet to be fulfilled.
In March this year, the Eastern Regional Minister, Mr. Seth Achampo, gave an assurance the resumption of work on the hospital, according to the minister, follows consideration of a budgetary allocation by Parliament. However, 6 months down the line, this promise has not seen the light of day.
The group later presented a petition to the Kwewu East District Assembly.
We're going to keep an eye on this one, updating you on our subsequent bulletins. But there's another group, this is the aggrieved public sector workers. They're calling themselves the Anchoring Democracy Advocacy Movement, ADAM for short. They're threatened to withdraw their membership from the likes of the TUC and the Civil Local Government Staff Association, CLOCSAC, if the leadership of these two unions do not renegotiate with government the 4% and 7% salary increment for this year and next year. And the group hit the streets in Tamale.
The protesters registered their displeasure over the 4% and 7% salary increment for 2021 and 2022. Convener of the coalition, Azumbila Emmanuel Salam, addressing the media, described leaders of the two labor unions as selfish.
We are those who pay dues to keep TUC and other labor running. If they decide not to listen to us as their members, and they will follow what has been put in their pockets, and they will subject us to this suffering, we will advise ourselves. And advising ourselves includes freezing on paying dues to these unions.
He described the refund of salary increment by President Akufo-Addo as a knee-jerk approach.
When we were having this COVID-19 lockdown, especially in data science market, no government letter went to the 71 office holders house to speak on it. Everyone locked themselves into their own rooms. It means we were equally affected by the COVID-19. Leadership, by example, if these same leaders increase their salary to 79%, these are leaders who don't pay tax. These are leaders who don't pay rent. These are leaders who don't have work. These are leaders who don't do anything. And we as public sector workers, we pay all these things. And you give yourself 79% and you give us 4%. I don't want to say they are wicked leaders. But what they have done,
In more news tonight, stakeholders at the World Peace Day Symposium in Accra are requesting Parliament to swiftly pass the hate crime legislation to protect ethnic minorities, the weak and vulnerable in society. Studies conducted on the prevalence of hate crimes in government universities, according to security analyst Dr. Ishmael Norman, stands at 29%.
The World Peace Day Symposium, organized by the Light Foundation in partnership with the Office of the National Chief Imam, was aimed at strengthening national socio-cultural and religious tolerance. Security analyst Dr. Ishmael Norman underscored the need to get the hate crime legislation passed.
The way we raise our children, telling them, oye pepeni, oye nipa, oye asantini, oye more important, all those kinds of things, it really conditions people's mind about how they relate to other people.
National Chief Imam Dr. Sheikh Osman Nuhu Shaributu, through his spokesperson Sheikh Arimaya Shaibu, noted the importance in maintaining peace and security.
May Allah increase the peace of our country. As when we speak as people, let's be conscious of the tone and the context of our speech. Because Allah has indicated in the Quran that when we speak to people on terms that are best, that are good.
General Secretary of the Christian Council of Ghana, Reverend Dr. Cyril Fayosi, said the clergy will always champion causes aimed at fostering peace in the country. President of the Light Foundation, Sheikh Ali Abubakar Napari, called for a concerted approach in maintaining the ideals of Ghana's peace.
Anything that anyone will incite you to do something that will not protect the peace that we are enjoying in Ghana, we just need to stand collectively and then fight it and make sure that we are one people, one nation, one destiny. Religion will not come to divide us, and culture or ethnicity or political division will not come between us, because at the end of the day, we are all heading towards one direction.
The symposium was on the theme, Fortifying Intercultural Interfaith Cohesion for National Development.
It's live here on News 360. We're live on 23 Ghana on Facebook, DSTV channel 279, all across the world on 3news.com. What do we have next, Portia?
Business news with Etanam C.
I'm going to interview Zuzum right here in my house. Hey!
Look up there. Why are you using inferior pen?
It was a mistake. I no check.
Acrobat 2. I'm going to knock you out.
I know, sir.
You deserve quality.
Don't make mistake. Stop!
You did the right thing.
When you are going to buy a paint, don't look left, don't look right. Go straight and grab the luxury acrylic paint. No be any paint, be paint.
The luxury acrylic paint.
Paint me champion.
Mommy.
Mama Chelsea. Fair.
Different era, better result. Time has changed and time has brought Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Healthy gums, anti-cavity, fresher breath, and it whitens teeth. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Sankofa.
Yenchi. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Are they still coughing? In our days, cough couldn't survive in our house. When we hear one, we mix and grind akakedru and vintia and nazi to treat it. But thankfully, we now have honey cough.
Introducing the new Honey Cough, a non-drowsy herbal cough syrup made with honey and extracts of herbal origins such as ginger, basil, long pepper, violet, and licorice. Effective for relief from cough, sore throat, and throat irritation. New Honey Cough clears coho away.
Grandma, I feel good.
Manufactured and distributed by NS Chemist Limited. This advertisement is FDA approved.
Get digi with it. Get digi with it. On your mark, ready, set, let's go. CBG Mobile USSD Young Co. Star 924 hash. Vanco the go. Smartphone no, young phone no. Ever fire money transfer. For your water bill, for your light bill. Factor credit. Star 924 hash. You deserve it. Let's go. Get digi with it. Star 924 hash. Get digi with it. Star 924 hash.
CBG is empowering you to get digi with CBG Mobile. Simply dial star 924 hash and get digi with it.
CBG, we stand with you.
I love football. Football can be a dirty game, on or off the pitch. Even when I'm trying to score at a party, stains find a way of tracking me down. But I don't worry at all, because I have Cleansoft. Use new Cleansoft 360 Deep Clean, a unique formula with active ingredients and enzymes that gets rid of all stubborn stains and leaves your clothes smelling wonderful. Cleansoft, my favorite. Cleansoft 360 Deep Clean, clean all.
Salaga, let's be it now.
Wow! At 72, I still receive salary alerts because I made the best decision to invest a lump sum into the retirement salary.
Invest a lump sum today in the Old Mutual Retirement Salary and enjoy guaranteed monthly income for life, funeral cover, and the option of signing on with a spouse. Please call Old Mutual today, 050-453-4333.
Me feel ahotonkwa.
Old Mutual, 176 years of doing great things.
Business segment is brought to you by MTN, Roma Insecticide Spray and Coil,
West Hills Ridge Property, Eden Heights,
Universal Merchant Bank,
Lufat.
Let's do some business news now. My name is Eton Amsey. The National Inland Canoe Fishermen Council wants the distribution of premixed fuel depoliticized. According to the council, the proposed digitization of its distribution and sale will not solve the inherent challenges. According to Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture, Mavis Hawa-Kumsin, fishermen will henceforth be required to present their canoe identification cards to access the commodity, explaining that her ministry has been able to supply over 52 million litres of premixed fuel between January and June this year. However, the National Inland Canoe Fishermen Council say that will not solve the problem regarding fair distribution.
You see that the premise committee that is supposed to be selling the fuel to the fishermen at the local level are packed by party chairmen, party secretaries, party whatever. Mr. Sari is aware of this problem. You will see that when they go to the landing beaches, they will sell the fuel to the intermediates. Then they will in turn sell this fuel to the fishermen at exorbitant prices. As you already you indicated, the fuel is highly subsidized to the fishermen to help them in their fishing activities. But you at the end of it, they don't benefit right from the acquisition and the sale of the premise fuel. So the diversion has been there. Sometimes they will load from store. There is tracker Mr. Sari is talking about. Fine, they put tracker on it, but still divert the fuel, and the fuel does not get to the local landing beaches. But the administrator at the National Premixed Fuel Secretariat, Nana Abrokwa Asari, disagrees.
The tracking device now, as we have it now, is seemingly almost impossible to divert any product. Most of the challenges that we have now are happening on the local level. Because now MPA, as a monitoring agency, is monitoring. We have the DCs also involved. We have operation officers also involved. So it's almost impossible to divert even a single drop of premixed fuel. Recently, some fishermen complained about the shortage of premixed fuel
attributing it to the Fisheries and Aquaculture Ministry selling the products mostly to pro-MPP fishermen who hoard it and sell it to the rest of them at outrageous prices. The perennial depreciation of the cedi against major trading currencies could be resolved if a permanent solution is instituted to avert high imports. A financial economist, Professor Lord Mensah, says a long-term sustainable production policy coupled with the gold reserve measures introduced by the Bank of Ghana could help.
I mean, those are measures that can solve the temporal or the medium-term demand of the dollar, because normally the trading is allowed maybe less than 6 months or sometimes 3 months. So those are not measures to control the cedi to the dollar, in the long term. In the long term, I think we need economic reorientation, and for that one, it should be a kind of a policy that will be adopted by the state, and for which we reorient our economy to be more of export, so that we can rake in more dollars. But then also, if you look at it, domestic gold reserves that is being proposed by, for that one, we can say that there's likelihood that it can make impact. But then it is something that is being rolled out, in the immediate term. We have to wait for some time to see the impact before we can talk about, such effect of such policies in our environment.
The Africa Continental Free Trade Area has commenced a meeting with all regional economic blocs on the continent to fast-track collaborative efforts for the full implementation of trading among member states. Secretary General of the CFTA, His Excellency Wemkele Mene, says the commitment shown should be sustained.
Between the regional economic communities and the AFCFTA Secretariat is necessary to ensure that the AFCFTA outcomes are consistent with the advancements and progress made in integration at the level of regional economic communities. This new series of meetings of heads of regional economic communities and the AFCFTA offers us a unique opportunity to exchange views, to better understand the challenges that we all confront, and to work together to build consensus around common positions critical to our success at creating an African economic community as set out in the Abuja Treaty.
The meeting of the heads of regional economic communities on the implementation of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area is the first of its kind, with the aim of finalizing a draft policy on intra-African trade. The regional economic blocs include Common Market on East and South Africa, COMESA, Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, Economic Community of Central African States, ECAS, Southern Africa Development Community, SADC, amongst others. The senior minister, Ya Osafo-Mafu, advised the heads of the economic blocs to expedite the implementation of trading amongst themselves, which will also create jobs for the youth.
We need the regional economic communities to function well if the AFCFTA is to achieve the desired outcomes, enhance intra-African trade, economic transformation, job creation for the teeming youthful population, and poverty reduction, among others. All the continents, Africa has the most youthful population.
Remember, there's a lot more business news on 3news.com, and that'll be it for business for tonight. My name is Eton Amse. Many thanks for your time.
Today we have a very big surprise for all of you. You get a sonata. You get a sonata. You get a sonata. You so open a sonata if you want it. You get a sonata. Sonata. You get a sonata. You get a sonata. And you can get a Sonata too.
Everyone's excited about the MTN Act 25 promo. Just keep using your MTN number and talk, text, browse, and more to gain points, and you could win one of 25 Hyundai Sonata vehicles and cash prizes each month in the MTN Act 25 promo. Dial *156# today and begin your journey to win big.
Hey, man, try.
Only on MTN, everywhere you go. Terms and conditions apply.
UMB Speed Up presents 10 steps to stay safe. If you can, stay home. Wash your hands regularly with soap under running water. Keep alcohol-based hand sanitizer close for frequent use. If you must go out, maintain a safe distance of at least 1 meter from the next person. Cough or sneeze with your mouth and nose covered with tissue, or bend your elbow while doing so. Avoid handshakes or hugs. Keep a mental note of people you have come into contact with or places you've been to. Avoid touching your face with unwashed hands. Drink a lot of fluids and boost your immune system with fruits and vegetables. Bank whenever, wherever with UMB Speed Up. UMB Speed Up. Digibank, let's go.
The groom is sick.
What?
Malaria.
Malaria. Lufat. Lufat.
Injija woman malaria enka won to them. Lufat. Eye malaria drop a cope.
And now you may kiss the bride.
Entrance Pharmaceuticals and Research Center. And I Lufat. Lufat. A two malaria sententem. FDA.
For generations, Ghanaians have had one thing in common, and that's the way we start our day. Wherever your day will take you, start with the energy from Cadbury Rich Cocoa, made from the finest Ghanaian cocoa.
This advert is FDA approved.
Let me see you make your move. Do it all, do it all, do it all.
But on those days, I compromise it all. Either my skin is sensitive or my back's against the wall.
You can have it all. What? Always brings it all.
Okay.
Get tall with new Always 2-in-1. Feather-like softness overall, even on the wings, girl. And rapid dry channels.
Let me see you make a move. Be it all, do it all, have it all.
Always 2-in-1 feathery soft.
Should you rumor to me?
Tonton master, Roma insecticide spray ada Roma. Interfre, Entatia, Mekecheha. No way. Shemikuno. And Tonton Bako crown fanamo. And also a pussy. Roma insecticide spray and mosquito coil. And how dare we sham? Roma,
Roma and Tonton Master.
Sports segment is brought to you by
Kel Kids Toothpaste.
Hello, good evening, and it's time for us to bring you the latest in the world of sports here on News 360. My name is Theo Nyan, and the Black Queens head coach Mercy Tego Kwaku has criticized both the government and the Ghana Football Association's poor approach towards the development of women's football in the country. Now, the women's game in the West African country has declined over the years, with the respective women national teams failing to compete at the top level.
My team, for instance, like I told you the last time, South Africa being our sisters and we are friends and whatever, they brought almost all the stars. And we all know Pembe Katlana, what she can do and what she's doing and what she will continue to do. I respect them so much because they have taken the women's football to a certain level that we all have to look at it and emulate. We are joking, believe you me, we are joking. we do this today, tomorrow we go and sleep. The next time when we are called, then we wake up and we think we will get there. When you sleep, others will wake up and do it for you to see. That's exactly what South Africa did to us.
All right, so Mercy Tego, the head coach of the Black Queens, speaking after Ghana won their game against Cameroon yesterday. Now, away from there, Paris Saint-Germain boss Mauricio Pochettino has revealed an injury was the reason he substituted Lionel Messi during Sunday's win over Lyon. Now, Messi appeared unhappy at being replaced, but Pochettino said he had taken a knock to his left knee. The 34-year-old will miss PSG's trip to Metz on Wednesday and is a doubt for next week's Champions League game against Manchester City. Now, PSG, who are top of the league, with a maximum 18 points from 6 games, host Montpellier on Saturday night before welcoming Manchester City at the Parc des Princes. FIFA said it imposed the sanctions after analyzing and taking into consideration all the circumstances of the case, specifically the seriousness of the incidents. Now, in the world of boxing, Anthony Joshua defends his WBA, IBF and WBO world heavyweight titles against former undisputed cruiserweight king Alexander Usyk at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on September 25. Now, Joshua admits that he put himself in vulnerable situations during sparring sessions designed to strengthen his mind and body for Alexander Usyk.
Dedicated myself to my fans. I've dedicated myself to the boxing public and to the wider public who kind of like fight.
Why Gladson Awako has not been seen in the squad despite his recent signing. They say it's for personal reasons. We'll bring you all these details later on right here on TV3. My name is Theo Nyan. Thanks for watching. The news continues.
Sale, yeah, kinda direct. Now what's this saying? With Dewa NLA 539 Direct, you only have to select up to 5 numbers from 1 to 39. To play, dial *446# across all mobile networks and select option 1. With a minimum of 2 Ghana cedis, you can bet on Direct 1. Match the first number and win 20 times your stake. Direct 2, match 2 numbers and win 45 times your stake. Direct 3, match 3 numbers and win 400 times your stake. Direct 4, match 4 and win 5,000 times your stake. Direct 5, match all 5 numbers to win 50,000 times your stake. The more you play, the more you win. Look out for the draw results on TV3 News at 7 p.m. Win easy, win every day with Dewa NLA 539 Direct. Afa, winning no, it choke.
Royal Aroma has introduced fortified rice that contains iron, vitamin B3, B6, B9, B12, and zinc. And what is more, these nutrients remain in your rice even after washing and cooking.
Yay!
Yeah! Isn't it heavy? Where are you going with the bag?
No, I can carry it. I want to show it to my friends.
New Royal Aroma fortified rice for you and your family. This advert is FDA approved.
Time to believe in you. We are changing, so should you. If you're dreaming, don't be afraid. And in the valleys, keep your head up high. Dare to dream with Puma drinks. Puma, Puma. Yeah, believe it, you can achieve. Puma, Puma. Oh yeah, clap your hands for the whole new vibe. Make we start the blessing. Oh yeah, come alive. Let me hear you.
Puma drinks, a whole new vibe. Another quality product from Casa Precon.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Shine your eye.
Shine your eye. Receive money from family and friends overseas and spend from your ZPay mobile money wallet. Dial *270# now.
Surprise! Ma! What's what's it? I have a pan and many There's a live chicken in my living room.
Sister, shine your eyes.
It's not funny.
ZPay. Shatumu direct.
So that mom can be able to open the door.
This is it. Here's my little brother doing something special. He's setting the camera up with another bright idea. Let's just open the door. Yay! Mom, I got it.
Now you can be part of the extraordinary world of endless possibilities on Vodafone. With the best value and amazing data offers and services available in Ghana, your dreams are achievable. Get more for less with Vodafone data. Vodafone. Together we can.
Welcome back to News 360. Let's get into the world of international news now. Says that forces of darkness linked to the ousted president Omar al-Bashir were behind Tuesday's failed coup attempt.
Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok said remnants from the previous regime were intent on aborting the civilian democratic transition. He described it as an orchestrated coup attempt. Bashir, who had been in power for 3 decades, was toppled 2 years ago. Reuters news agency quotes the Sudanese military as saying 21 officers and a number of soldiers had been detained in connection with the failed coup and are continuing to search for the rest of the culprits. A protest has taken place in the Namibian capital against an agreement made with Germany after it apologized for a genocide in the southern African country in the early 20th century. Various political parties and traditional chiefs have dismissed Germany's offer to pay $1 billion in development aid and say the deal was made without properly consulting the victims. Some of the demonstrators stormed the parliamentary building. Classes have been suspended at the University of Liberia as a result of a strike by teaching staff. They are logged in a dispute with management over salaries and other working conditions. The crisis worsened on Monday when police tear-gassed students protesting against the absence of their teachers and poor sanitation. The university's financial difficulties have worsened since President George Weah announced 3 years ago that tuition will be free. But the government insists it has increased financial support to the university since then.
There's more international news on 3news.com. Coming up, entertainment news.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by Puma Drinks.
Tonight in this segment, Media Generals on Your TV and FM has launched the Sankofa Ghana Festival to, among other things, deepen awareness on Ghana's cultural heritage. The event, to be held annually, will provide an avenue to project and promote the identity of Ghanaians.
The culture of the people, including its music, food, clothing, is what makes them distinct from others. However, in recent times, there have been concerns about the seeming neglect of Ghana's culture and the need for a return.
Onya TV and Onya FM, being our local language broadcaster within the Media General Group, we decided that for us to move forward, we need to go back and look at some of the good things and bring them back on our television stations, on our radio stations, on our digital platforms, and propagate them to our audience and to Ghanaians.
Head of Onya TV and Onya FM, Nana PNT, indicated that the festival will take the form of a regional tour, highlighting the uniqueness of each of the 16 regions.
This has come to stay. It's a national event, and we want to have this every year. Remember, God has defined the different regions in Ghana in different ways. There's something in the eastern region that the people of Ashanti region don't have. If I go to the western region, I remember the masquerade and masqueraders dancing. It used to be a very beautiful thing. I think it's still beautiful. But when we come to the region, what we do will represent what the region stands for.
The National Commission on Culture lauded the initiative.
Well, I believe that launching of this program is going to help to improve upon our culture, to bring back the things that we have stopped, the things that we are not doing, the food that we are not eating, how we are expected to behave and all that. And it should be endorsed by everybody.
Onya Sankofa Festival Ghana will be an annual event.
On behalf of the management of Onya TV and Onya FM, declare the Sankofa Festival duly launched.
Certainly has come to stay, and congratulations.
And it's good for us to identify where we come from. In the words of Dr. Nkrumah, I'm not African because I was born in Africa, but because Africa was born in me.
You know, today you're full of Nkrumah's quotes, and it's a good one, honestly. Anyway, so Nkrumah never dies, as they say. Thank you so much. On behalf of the rest of the team for staying with us here on Nkrumah Memorial Day, join me and the rest of the team tomorrow morning on 3FM 92.7 from 5 to 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. I am Alfred Okamsi.
And I am Portia Gabo. Good evening.